Okay. We're holding Daf Tzadik Zayin on the base, the last line. We'll do a really quick review of what we learned yesterday, where we're holding today. So, the Mizbeach is 10 amos. 10 amos should equal 60 tvachim. 10 amos should equal 60 tvachim. There's a pasuk that tells us that there's 4 things that we measure in 5 tvachim amos. What are they? The base of the Mizbeach, the Yisoid, the Soiviv of the Mizbeach, which is the ledge, the Keren on the Mizbeach, which is the horn, and also the Mizbeach HaPnimi, Mizbeach Hazav. So the Gemara first wanted to say that we take this blue line and we make this blue line, this blue line, and we make this blue line, this is the Mizbeach. I ruined it kind of with all the markings, but just to explain the sugya real quickly, the first shot in the Gemara was we just take the blue line part of the Mizbeach, meaning from the ground up until the Soivev, my blue line should have gone up to here. You take that blue line and you shrink it to 5 tvachim instead of 6 tvachim. What happens when you take 6 amos and you shrink it by 5 tvachim? You lose a full amma. You lose 6 tvachim, and therefore you would have, instead of 60 tvachim, you would have 54 tvachim. And if you have 54 tvachim, half of 54 is 27. And the kohen is standing on this ledge, which is at the 24 mark, and therefore he could only put blood below him 3 tvachim to 27. And that's not good because we learned that he could put blood 6 tvachim below. So the Gemara erases this blue mark thing. The Gemara goes to this black marker. What's the black? We're going sideways now. Instead of saying that we shrink this way, the vertical, we're going to shrink to the side. How many sides do we have? We have the step on the base, we have the soivev, and we have the keren. Shrink those down to 5 tvachim instead of 6 tvachim. How many tvachim are we missing from the Mizbeach if we do that? 3 times minus 1 tefach equals 6, not 3. Why? Because you have on each side the same exact thing. It's 3 from each side. If we're missing a full 6 tvachim, which is a full amma, that creates a major problem that we learned that the measurement is 187 from Heichal, from side to side, and now it's only, if you have the Mizbeach, including the Mizbeach is supposed to be 32 amos, and now it's only 31. So it's a problem.
It's all because Torah gave us dimensions.
Yeah. Said amos, didn't say tfachim. Tells us how many amos. So if we shrink the amma to tfachim, then we have major issues. But here's where we're holding today. We're going to do a combination. We're going to go to the red. We're not black. Black is only horizontal. Blue is only vertical. We're going to go red. Red is a combination. When it comes to the bottom, we shrunk the bottom to 5 tvachim, the base. When it comes to the soiviv, we shrink it sideways. And when we come to the top, again, we shrink it one way. What about this?
Both.
What about sideways on the top? The Gemara says you can do whatever you want. What do we gain by that? Welcome back, Shalom Aleichem. We need guys like you coming back. Can't wait. Noam is coming back when? Today also. Okay. So what do we gain? We gain that we don't have a full amma on anything. Because if you shrink three blacks equals 1 amma. And that's no good. But if we only shrink 1 red, in other words, 1 black, that's not a full amma. That's only going to be 2 tvachim. 1 tefach on each side, and we don't care, so we were off by 2 tvachim. Not a big deal. Now, but we are shrinking 2 verticals. You see, there's 2 reds. 2 reds in vertical, 1 horizontal. Yeah? Oh, sorry. The last and final pshat of the Gemara is, we are shrinking 3 things. But they're not all in the same direction. They're not all vertical or all horizontal. It's combination. It's two horizontals and two verticals and one horizontal. What does it do to us if we take divided by 2 is how much? Okay, so let's see in the Gemara now. Elo, the final pshat is Cheiko Amo. When we're talking about the Yisod of the Mizbeach, Beguva, in its height, in the vertical. Now, Amo Roichav, and when we're talking about the ledge, the Soivev, it's on the Roichav, it's on the width, Knisa, like we said yesterday, Knisa means going in, it's on the horizontal plane. Gvula, what's going on?
Just buffering. The buffer thing is buffering.
Okay. Gevula el svasa saviv. Eventually they're gonna get Wi-Fi here, and we'll just connect there. It'll be a lot better.
It's like a Japanese movie.
Gevula el svasa saviv. Rabbi say once we have to wish Nachum Seltzer a big mazel tov on the bar mitzvah of his son last night. Beautiful simcha.
Once you're saying that tomorrow's the kiddush and b'nei yeshivas.
I was going to say it for you.
Yeah, okay, good.
Nachum Seltzer, big part of the shir, voiceover, v'chulu. So, big mazel tov for the shir.
Rain. Yeah. Tomorrow.
All right. Now, Gevula el Svasa Saviv, which is referring to the horn of the Mizbeach, once again, is we're going to chop off from the horn 1 tefach. Now, the horn is a amma by amma. So do you chop it off on both ways, the vertical and horizontal? Says the Gemara, weird Lashon, jumps into like a whole sentence and doesn't explain what it's talking about. Thank you for Rashi. Loishna hacha, v'loishna hacha, top of tzadik ches amud aleph. It doesn't matter, you could chop it off, you could leave it as is. It's not going to change anything here. Because either you're taking off 2 tefachim from the whole width of the Mizbeach, you're taking off 4 tefachim, it doesn't matter. As long as it's not an amma, we don't care. Says the Gemara. Now, we go through the whole cheshbon. Mizbeach kamahavi. Usually a mizbeach is 60 tefachim if everything is 60 tefachim, if every amma is 6 tefachim. However, we did 2 verticals, the 2 reds became 5 tefachim. So we just lost 2 tefachim for the whole mizbeach. So 60 minus 2 equals, very good, Chamshin utmanyo. So now we're left with 58 tefachim. So if you split 58 into 2, Esrim v'tisha. So now your middle point, this red line, is at the 29 point. 29 tefachim from the bottom, 29 tefachim from the top is your midpoint. What is this midpoint once again? You cannot take blood that belongs on the top part of the mizbeach, which is from a chatos and a oila sa'if. You cannot, in no circumstance, put it below the red line. And every other carbon, oila, shlamim, toida, whatever, that the blood belongs below the red line, you cannot put it above the red line. So what happens if somebody's standing on the ledge? Where's the ledge? How many tefachim down is the ledge? Usually the ledge is 24 tefachim down, because it's 4 amos times 6 tefachim is 24 tefachim down. But we just chopped down 1 tefach. No, the ledge. Oh yeah, you're right. If it's 60, 30, you're right. Okay, fine.
No, why is it 24?
No, sorry. The ledge is always 24 tefachim. Or it's not 24 tefachim, it's always 4 amos. It's 4 amos. 4 amos. 4 amos below the top, and 6 amos at a 6 tefach amma. 6 times 6 is 24.
6 times 4.
6 times 4 amos. Sorry, 6 times 4 amos is 24. Yeah.
But if it was in the middle, it's not a time.
No, it's not. The ledge is not in the middle. The ledge, the soivev, where you walk, is different than the chut hasikra. This is the chut hasikra. The red line is just painted, a red line. There's a ledge where you actually, I don't have the picture now, but the ledge that you walk, no?
You do have it.
Right here, it's a ledge. You see it sticks out, you walk on that. Where is this ledge? 4 amos down. One of the 4 amos we shrunk. This red guy we shrunk because it's part of the Karen. So instead of it being 24 tefachim, it's 23 tefachim. We lost 1 tefach. So if a kohen is standing on this red mark, not the red line, he's standing on the ledge. And he's shechting with his finger. He's doing malika to a bird. So where is he standing? He's standing 23 tefachim downwards. Where could he pour the blood till? Where's this red line? 29. Where's the halfway mark? 29. So how many tefachim does he have to play around with? below his feet? 6. That's exactly what the Mishnah says. Then it's perfect. It fits right into the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, and he has a full amma below his feet to pour the blood. He's standing on the red, and below him is still halfway of the Mizbeach, 6 tefachim. The whole issue happened if we shrink this, and if we shrink more and less, then all of a sudden he only has 3 tefachim. That's a contradiction to the Mishnah. But now everything works perfect. Says the Gemara inside. How many tefachim do we have from the top of the Mizbeach till the ledge? Esrimut lasa. You only lost 1 tefach by shrinking because you only shrunk one thing called the keren. So now you're left with 23 tefachim. So from where he's standing at 23, going to the halfway point of the Mizbeach, Shita, you have 6 tefachim because from 29 to 23 equals 6. Usnan, and that fits perfectly into the Mishnah. So he is able to squeeze the bird's blood out, even 1 full amma below his feet. Dekanami, and you should know it also fits very well into the word the chsiv in the pasuk. Chei amma, which we said always means the base of the mizbeach. It doesn't say what amma, is it vertical or horizontal, and then all of a sudden it says va'ama, referring to the ledge, to the soivev roichav. All of a sudden over here it talks about width, and look how beautiful that is. This is vertical, and this is roichav. This is actually width. That we shrunk the red here, but they're different languages. This is called roichav, and this is not called roichav. Fits beautifully into the passage. And now we could start a whole brand new sugya. Says the Gemara. You said it for me. Shema mino. All right. Not good. How much is an amma benis? We said there's 3 amos. Moshe Rabbeinu has the amma called a 6 tefach amma, and that is benunis. Why? Because there's an amma that's smaller than him, a 5 tefach amma, and there's an amma larger. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan, shisha tefachim. So the Beinoni is a 6 tefach, and that's the middle one. We also learned so it fits in beautifully. If the Torah tells us that the shulchan is 1 amma by 2 amma, it says Remeir, therefore it equals 6 by 12 tefachim. That means he's using the amma beinonis, and amma beinos is 6 tefachim. Michlal, then it's obvious. There's an amma that's larger than 6 tefachim in Vatnan, and this is not a question, this is just a pshat, Vatnan, and it says, Shtei amos hoy b'Shushan Abira. Where is Shushan Abira? That's in the Megillah. But in the Beis Hamikdash we had a place called Shushan Abira. It was above, it was a picture depicting Persia, showing Shushan Abira in the Beis Hamikdash above the eastern gate. Basically, there was 2 measuring devices in the Shushan Abira place. One was in the northeast corner. Taisus points out in Amud Beis that it fits very well because this was used, as the Gemara is going to say in a second, for gold and silver. And there's a pasuk says Taisus, Mitzaf and Zav Ya'asa. From the north, gold will come. So Memela, they put it in the northeastern corner. Va'achas, and another measuring device, Mizrachis Droimis, was in the southeast corner. So they had a measuring stick that was a half a thumb width. This is a etzba, l'chayra. Most people say this is called etzba when it comes to measuring. This is a etzba for pointing and for other stuff, but this is for measuring. So if you take a thumb, you split the thumb in half. I don't know, what is this? 3/4 of an inch, my thumb. A half of that. Half of that, more than 6 tefachim. So they had a measuring stick that was this much more than 6 tefachim. And then you had another one that was a full thumb bigger. Mamish a mashu more. That's it. That was the whole measurement. 2 measurement. They're considered 1. Only a half a finger wider, longer. Was longer than the first, than the stick that was long. Another half etzba. So the second stick was only one etzba larger than Moshe Rabbeinu's 6 tvachim. 6 tvachim and a finger, or 6 tvachim and a half a finger. Those are the two measurements. Why did they make this measuring? You go to a contractor and you say, listen, I'm going to pay you X amount of money to build for the Beis Hamikdash a wall. So you measure it with a regular measuring tape. He does 10 amma wall, and when he delivers his goods, you take out your fake measuring stick that's off by a little bit, and you measure with that. And you say, hey, let me see if you did enough. Let me see if you got the 10 amma. And he always has to give you a little bit more. Why? Because if you do it exactly, it's possible that you will pay him, the Beis Hamikdash will pay him for a job done, and really he missed 1 millimeter, and now he's stealing from Hegdish. It's Me'ilah. So we want to make sure that he always gives more to Beis Hamikdash. Beis Hamikdash always wins.
You pay less, you get more.
Exactly, when it comes to Beis Hamikdash. Kedei shelo yavoyu lidei Me'ilah. So Taisus, the top Taisus over here says it's not really Me'ilah. There is no Me'ilah because there's a halacha that Hegdish, once they decide that they mechal something even on a pruta, they could give away $1 million for a pruta. So over here they gave away, they paid the guy $1,000 for a half a wall. That's also good. It's not Me'ilah, but we don't want the contractor to use Hegdish. So therefore we did this. So okay, so why do you need 2 measuring sticks? One is enough. That's very obvious. If you're dealing with gold, it's a lot more expensive, a lot harder to work with. So you don't want to rip off the contractor by a full finger. That's a lot of money, especially if an ounce costs $1,200. You only rip him off, or l'chatchila you tell him, hey, we're going to be measuring by. You're not ripping off. He knows that this is how it works. So you only take off a half a finger for gold. Fine.
So the Meister is the regular 6 amma, 6 tvachim amma. There's 2 that are bigger and 1 that's smaller.
Correct, but the 2 that are bigger are considered 1. The Gemara here considers it 1. Because you don't always use one or the other, and it's the same idea. The idea is not for contractors, not to be moil. Says the Gemara, it's not awesome. Shar Mizrach, all of Shushan Abira. Now the Gemara just explains there was on top of the eastern wall there was a picture of Shushan Abira. My time, what's the purpose of that? Rav Chizda, Rav Yitzchok. This is machlokes Rav Chizda, Rav Yitzchok. Barav Dimi. The king of Persia wanted the Jews to always remember him. Or he wanted them to fear him. You should know that you should always have fear of a king. Moshe Rabbeinu told Paroi that after Makkah's Bechorah, everybody, all your slaves are going to come to me. What he really meant is, you yourself, Paroi. And also at the end of the day, Paroi came in his pajamas in the middle of the night and begged him. So why didn't Moshe tell him? It was part of the Nevuah. He should have said, Paroi, you are going, because you don't talk like that to a king. It's not, you have to, even when you have the upper hand and you could threaten him and you could make fun of him, you have to give him a little cover.
CNN talks to the king, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
And then they
V'ilu lididei loy kamarle. He never mentioned it to Paroi himself. Rabbi Yochanan says, Shenemar, v'yad Hashem hoisa el Elio. So it says that Achav, the Rasha, was one of the people that never will enter Gan Eden. He was traveling by himself, so Eliyahu Navi went by Yishanis Masnav, v'yars lefnei Achav, ad boyach Yisrael, the famous, he lifted up his thing, he ran in front of him. Why? For the covet HaMalchus. You give even a Rasha, you give him the covet. He's a king. Now,
We're talking about the second Beit Hamikdash here, right?
which part? The Shushan Abira, yeah.
Because the whole Gemara is that we're talking about the position of the Aron and everything, is talking about the first Beit Hamikdash.
Exactly. Over there is the wall and the we'll get there, yeah.
There was no Aron in the
Right, there's no Aron in the second Beit Hamikdash. Now, once we mentioned Rav Chizda and Rav Yitzchak, so the Gemara brings another machlokes, says Rashi, Va'alei l'srufa. It says, and its leaves coming out of, there will be a river coming out of Kodesh HaKadoshim, and there will be trees growing off this river, and these trees will have an unbelievable power of healing. What are they going to heal? Machlokes. Rav Yitzchak, Rav Chizda, Rav Yitzchak, Baravdim, Chad Omar lahater peshel amalo, v'chad Omar lahater peshel amato. One says it's going to come to heal mute, people that can't speak, and one says it's going to come to heal women that can't have children. Itmar, Chizkiya Omar, and then there's no machlokes here. The Gemara just says it much more mefurish. Chizkiya says mamish with the back tzeiner. Chizkiya Omar lahata pe ilumim. He says it's going to come not lemala lamata, but rather he says mefurish. It's going to come to heal the mute. Bakapara Omar lahata pe akarois, to heal women who are barren from children. I'm just wondering if it's like dafka these two things, or those are like the hardest things to cure. I don't know. Torah Rabbanon.
My father says stuttering is the hardest thing for him to cure, to help people.
Who said this?
My father. Many people. Stuttering is the one thing that
And not to have children also is like one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I guess it's easier to cure cancer than to cure. I don't know. Maybe those are the only two things. Maybe it means everything, and even those two things.
So also, there are curse of the shidduch crisis. That's the
If they're not married, yeah, I hear. They have to just eat from the tree.
Stammering is a psychological thing, and very often infertility is not necessarily.
It's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
It's not necessarily physical thing.
Okay. Torah Rabbanon. Ilu Nemar. Okay, so let's just go here for a second. Where is it? We need a special guy now for the. Oh.
Maybe Gedali's Lotto was to do. I saw that. I heard that.
This is the pasuk. It says, "V'lokachta soiles v'afisa oisa shteim esrei chalois." Pasuk Hey. It says there's going to be 12 chalois. Now let's think by ourselves before we see the Gemara. It says 12 chalois. We want to know how you stack up these chalois. There's 12. How do you stack them up? 3 rows of 4, 6 rows of 2, 2 rows of 6. What do you do? And the next pasuk says, and then the dot. I didn't have room for it. V'samto isom shtayim harochos, 2 rows, sheish hamarachos. So l'chayr, there's some extra words here. If I just said 2 marachos, shtayim marachos, I know it's 6. You take 12, you divide it by 2. It says shtayim. So why do I have to say sheish hamarachos? So the Gemara goes into that a little bit and says, we wouldn't know one without the other. You need all 3. You need blue, red, and black. Otherwise, I wouldn't know the combination.
It could be 1 row of 4, 1 row of 8.
What?
It could be 1 row of 4, 1 row of 8.
Exactly. And the Gemara actually says exactly your pshat. If we just say 12, and it wouldn't say the last thing on the bottom, sheish. That's what you were saying, Dak. It would say, you would think, okay, even 1 row of 4, 1 row of 8.
Why?
And Gary, why? Because I feel like it. Because it doesn't tell me how to do it. But the Torah says it has to be exact. And that was what Gary was bothering yesterday. There's an exact way. And if you do 8 and 4, puzzle.
So you can do 9 and 3 also.
Correct. Yeah, it's just a number. It's an example. Lekach nemar sheish. It has to be 6. Vilu nemar shtayim maroches sheish amareches. And if it would only say these 2 things, shtayim v'sheish, v'lo nemar shtemesrei, and it wouldn't say the pasuk Hey, which is 12. I would think that you need 3 rows of 6 because shtayim amaroches would mean 6, 6, and then it says afterwards sheish again. So I think there's 3 rows of 6, total of 18. Lekach nemar shtemesrei, to tell you it's not 18, it's 12. If it would not say sheish, I would think that it's 3 times 4. It's 12, but the way you divide it is by 4s. I need all 3 things to tell us how to do it exactly. There is one child over there. There's another way maybe, but also not a good one. So you must do 2 rows of 6. What if he decides to be a machmir and he puts 7 breads? Now they point out, I think it's Tosfos, I don't know who. No, I saw that it says that it cannot be that the Gemara means that he took the 24 Yisarin. Each bread is made out of 2 Yisarin, total of 24 Yisarin, and he made from 24 Yisarin 14 breads, because then the breads would be missing 2 Yisarin. Has to be that he used extra flour. That's a given. Rebbe Yoimer, Roinesel Yoino Kilo Eno. Forget, we don't care about the top guys. Forget about them. They're not. They don't exist. It's not a problem.
And therefore it's okay?
It's okay. It doesn't passel. Okay. But what does it do to the breads that you have? It doesn't passel them. You have to put, according to that one sheet that we had the other day, you have to put the levina, the frankincense, on top of the bread, and it's not on top of the bread. Again, I forgot where I saw it. It was early. But going back to yesterday, it's important this because people had a problem understanding it. I think it was you, Reuven, that when you put it on top of the seventh bread, it's going to be out of range because the range right now is 12 tfachim or whatever you're doing. 15, 12 according to Rameir, and we're talking about Rameir. So the seventh bread is already 14 tfachim or 17 tfachim above. And when you put the frankincense on top of that, it has zero kedusha. So they say, oh yeah, he had to create a hole in the bread to drop it down below the line so it touches the 12 line. But it's very interesting that it's literal, that the Torah gave a kedusha to the shulchan up until 12 tvachim and not a centimeter past that. So if I would put the levina above that line, hanging it, or everybody asked, how do you get levina above there? Here's a great case. He put 7 breads and he put levina above that line. It doesn't become kaddish. No, it doesn't mean you put the levine on top of a bread. It means you put it between the bread. That goes according to Rameir. Rameir says that there was room between the 2 rows because it's 12 tfachim and the breads are only 10 tfachim. There's actually room there. Al besamoch. At oimer al besamoch, you say the word al, which in Hebrew means on top of. You say it means next to. Oyoner el al mamish. Maybe it means literally on top. Shuoimer v'zakois ala orein. Es haparoiches havoimer al besamoch. Maybe we could close this a little bit. Is it possible? No, I'm getting a little wet here. Not too much. Okay, so leave it open. Ow. Sorry. That's it. No. Just like the paroiches was next to the aroin, not above the aroin, and it says al, so al does not mean on top, it means next to.
Anything about, we saw 2 days ago the exact same thing, more for a different pasuk.
Correct. So my chavrusa said that's a klutz kasha. I told him I'm willing to bet $1,000 that somebody asks it. I looked it up this morning. The Tosfos Yantav asked the kasha. He said, but it has to be somebody that's like a real achron, not Nesivus David. I mean, you just throw out a name. There's no such name. There's no such sefer. I just said it. So, but I have to ask him if the Tosfos Yantav is a credible thing. But yeah, what a good point.
What's the answer?
I don't know. He says Ayin Sham. I don't know. Then he says he brings Tosfos something. So I don't know. Okay, it might even be a Tosfos that talks about it, but I wasn't able to understand. Kol hakelim sheba migdosh, toner rabbanon kol hakelim sheba migdosh orkon la'orkoi shel bayis. I asked it. I didn't ask you wow. I have the most unbelievable. I said, do you know the reason? He goes, that's a close kash. I'm not even going to. I guarantee you, knowing that somebody's going to. So this we had that all. If this is the Beis Hamikdash, all the kalim, the menorah, the shulchan, they all go this way, east to west, not this way. They go to the length. Okay. Besides the aroin that goes this way. The aroin is in here, in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, it goes this way. Yeah. It is very wrong.
This is wrong.
Because it's the shape is wrong, I think. The badim go this way. They definitely go that way, but it's on. Yeah, this is wrong. The picture is wrong. I didn't notice that. Thanks. We have to look into it. So let's go to the picture for a second. What are badav? Badav is not the cloth. Badav are these guys. Badav are the poles. Again, we're going back to Oitzer Hamishkan. I got reshus from him, and it's on the cover of his book. But I thought this is a better picture, so I'm going to use this one for a second. These are the badim. These are the poles that hold up the aron. What way? Hi, bar mitzvah boy. Mazel tov. Yeah. If you notice, I don't know if you could see, but I see it. This is the long way of the aron. This is the short way. You see, it's very narrow way over here. So the badim are on the short way, so that two people could fit in between here. And each guy holds just one pole. There's 4 people holding it. 2 in here. Imagine if the badim were this way, they wouldn't be able to stand in here. Okay? That's the Rayas Gemara. The Gemara.
What's the length of the arm?
Good child.
What's the length? Which side is the length?
This guy. This is the length.
So that was,
And this is the width.
so this was facing which way?
Oh. So these poles were facing this. This is on the. If I'm on the narrow part of the Beis Hamikdash, it's like this. It's on the wrong way.
So this is
All the Kalim were facing this way. This is the only Kli that was facing south, north, south. This is north, south. Because we want the Badim going this way. Let's go.
The badding goes to the parapet.
V'kachayu badav munachim. As the Gemara Michael Omar, what does it mean? V'kachayu badav munachim. They weren't laying that way. They were on the narrow part. Hachik Omar. Kachayu munach mit badav kachayu munachim. Because the badim had to be facing east-west, like all the kalim, so therefore the aron had to be facing north-south. Now the Gemara says the obvious. Ubadim ben Olaman. How do you know that the poles had to be facing east-west? The Sanya v'yarichu habadim. The badim were long, and they went into, so to speak, into the heichal. So just real quickly, this is the heichal. This is the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and there was a paroiches. There was a screen. There was a fabric here, and the poles poked the fabric, so you could see the indentation in when you were looking from the heichal in. You could see it. Maybe they weren't touching. And they can be seen. Maybe they poked the hole right through. They shouldn't go through. Okay, both of them, they push the cloth like a woman which pushes through the clothing. The battle of the pussy, the aron haviyasa. And how do you know? So this proves to us again that the aron was in the wrong way, the wrong direction of all the kalim, because the badim were in the right way, so therefore the aron was in the wrong way. Right? It's on the width, not on the length. Now, moving on the battle of the pussy, the aron haviyasa. How do you know that these poles were attached to the narrow part of the aron, which gave the distance between the poles more distance? Says the Gemara, two people cannot fit into 1.5 amas. Since the aron was 1.5 amas wide, and you needed 2 people in there, as Menachem, how do you know that they stood inside the poles? Maybe they could have stood on the outside of the poles. There must be a reason why they stood over there. And how do you know there's 4 people carrying it? Maybe there's 2 people, and that's why it had to be narrow, like a lahavdil aron of a person. Yeah, you have 2 small poles, and one person can hold 2 of them. How do you know it was wide apart? That's tray is 2. Noisei hamikdash nami tray. So we know that there's 4 people carrying it. Tana Rabbana. In addition to the shulchan that you put the lechem upon him on, Shlomo HaMelech made another 10 tables, the same exact size, which are what? 1 amma by 2 ammas, so a total of 11 tables. Chamishim yamin v'chamishim mismoil. So now, they were to the right and to the left. So, here's the doorway going into the Heichal, and if you think that 5 were to this side, and 5 were to this side, that's impossible. Why? Because the shulchan could only be on this side. The shulchan was always on the tzafan, and the menorah was always on the darai. So you can't split them up half and half to the 2 sides. So it must be that basically, if they're all lined up like this is the heichal. Moshe's is smack in the middle. This is again from Simon Wolf site, and it must be that Moshe is somewhere in the middle. Okay? Now, each shulchan is 2 amos. That takes up how much? 20 amos. Forget about Moshe Rabbeinu's shulchan for a second. 20 amos. Says the Gemara. Esem menorah is now going to the menorah. Esem menorah is also shloimo. Shenema v'yasas menorah is zov esekim mishpat beitim beheichol chomish mimin v'chomish mismoil. Same exact thing. And if you say that they were to the right and the left of the door of the heichol, they can't be in the north. They have to be across from the shulchan in the south. Same exact thing as this picture, just down here. The menorahs were going this way. That's according to this Gemara. What?
These are not both places?
No.
It's time to make it nice.
Yeah. To have. The shulchanos and the menorahs could only go until this red line. Says the Gemara, this red line, there's no machlokes where this red line is. Either you call it at the halfway mark, or you call it at the third mark, but it's the exact same spot. It's just how you call it. Why? Because if I ignore this part, which is the Kodesh HaKadoshim, so the red line becomes in the halfway mark. If I add this Kodesh HaKadoshim, so I have 3 boxes of 20 amma, and the red line is at the third. But the point is, the shulchanis never moved past this red line. They were always within this red line. As you can see, a little bit past the red line, because it's impossible to get 20 amas within 20 amas. It's going to take up something, like a quarter of an inch, so it's a little bit past the line. Fine. Like Asher, Michael Choshev Beis Kodesh Kadoshim Badi Heichol, Umaylik Choshev Beis Kodesh Kadoshim Badi Heichol. Ton Rabbanon. We're talking about the shulchanos again. Mizrach Umayir Vayim. They went from east to west, just like this picture. Divi Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Shimon Omer, Sofan V'Doraim. No, they went this way. You got 10 tables going this way. My time of the Rebbe, Goma Menorah. Ma Menorah Mizrach Umayir. Just like a menorah is, I wanted to get a menorah today. I forgot to go to my machsan. I said I was going to go on the way and I forgot. Okay, fine. We'll do about that.
Leave it for Matzah Shabbos.
We have plenty of work then. How do you know that the menorah was placed east, west? Medichsiv b'ner maravi yarach oiser l'fnei Hashem miklal dekulu lav l'fnei Hashem. Okay, so I don't have my menorah with me, but just imagine this is my menorah, right? It goes this way. Now, if I am the west, which candle is closest to me? All the candles. But if I go like this, then only one candle is next to me. And the pasuk says that the Ner Maravi, there's one candle called Ner Maravi. So it is closest to me. That means it had to be facing this way and not this way. Because then they'll all be touching the Kodesh HaKadoshim. But if you say that it went north-south, then they're all closest to the Kodesh HaKadoshim. And why does Rabbi Lazar Shimon, how does he learn? Reb Shimon learns out from the Aron. He said that the Aron, like this, was south-north, north-south. So Memela, Afhaninami, Tzaf and Darin, so too the Shulchan. And the menorah also in the same direction as the Aron. Rebbe Nami Ligim Aron. So how come Rebbe doesn't learn out from the Aron? It's a very chashuv thing, the Aron. Had the kruvim, it had the luchas, everything. Says the Gemara, Donim Chutz Mechutz, and Donim Chutz Mefnim. Where is the Shulchan? It's inside Kodesh HaKadoshim. The menorah and the Shulchan are outside of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. They're only in the Heichal. So why would I learn something that's out of the Heichal from something that's inside the Heichal? Reb Lazar Reb Shimon Ligim Menorah. Let him learn from the menorah. No, the menorah did go south, north-south. It says oisoi, singular. One of the candles was in the west. Says the Gemara, the famous picture that the middle candle actually faced me, the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and all the other candles were facing it. So there's only one candle that literally faced the Kodesh HaKadoshim. You're right, they're on the same plane. They're all In distance, they're all the same distance to the Kodesh HaKadoshim because it was north-south, like this piece of paper, north-south. But the middle one went like this.
The wick of it?
The wick of it. The wick was pointing this way, where all of them were pointing towards the middle wick. Everything was facing the middle one. This is talking about on Sheni V'Chamishi, we lane 10 psukim, let's say. If you divide 10 psukim, so you have 3, 3, and 4. Where do you put the 4? The Leviim. We have a few Leviim there, Nachman, Gershon. They're the most chashav. The middle guy is the most chashav. Maybe the middle Ali is the most chashav. But it says that you should put the 4 psukim in the middle and not at the beginning or the end. So now the Gemara has a series of questions here. Get my papers here. Okay. Bishloim elamando omar mizrach umayrav hainu dahavi yisivi asora be'esrim elamando matzofim v'dor. What do I have here?
Is Amar Rabbi Nassim that one, or Amar Rabbi Nassim?
How many minutes? 2 minutes.
That's
Okay.
Amar Rabbi Nassim or Amar Rabbi?
Where are you?
Amar Rabbi Nassim, Mikan Shem Tzayim Shubach, that's quoting Rabbi or Rabbi Nassim?
No, Rabbi Nassim. Okay. So ask the Gemara. So this we mentioned before. If the shulchanos are in this direction, there's no wall here. This is an invisible line. This red line is just it's an invisible line. It says don't cross this line. So I crossed it by a few inches. But these are real walls. You cannot fit. It's impossible to fit in a space of 20 amas worth of table. How are you going to fit it in there? That's question number one. It's impossible. It's going to hit the wall. You're not going to be able to squeeze it in. Asar be'esr meichiyas. Besu koyhanim meichav ayli. If the shulchanos went this way, how could they possibly get into the Kodesh HaKadoshim? It's blocking. It takes up the whole length. How can they get in Kodesh HaKadoshim? Not only that, they have to remove the bread. Two koyhanim remove the bread every week from both sides of the shulchan. Are they going to have to jump over the shulchan? Doesn't make sense. Besu matzinu chamisha shulchanos badaroim. So now, according to him, look at this line. This line tells me this is tzafin, this is daraim, and if you're going this way, half of your tables are going to be across the line. All the tables have to be in the daraim, in the tzafin. Wait a minute, you forgot completely about Moshe Rabbeinu's table. There's 11 tables. Forget about 10. Now, if there's 11 this way, maybe I could push it out here. But according to you, there's no way to do it. Now, by the way, this all these kashas only according to Rameir, that says that the Amas 5 tefachim, but according to, 6. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's the shulchan was 5, so you have 10 extra tefachim to play around with. There's a lot of room according to Rabbi Yehuda. Fine, we'll stop here.
Everybody finish tomorrow. The yeshivas and my son.